All right. Matt, the mortgage guy here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about whether you should buy now or wait. You don't know what's going to go on with mortgage interest rates. You don't know what's going to go on with the housing market. You don't know whether it's better to buy in the winter, better to buy in the summer, whether you should buy now. All these questions and more. I'm going to give you a little bit of data, a little bit of feedback, my personal opinion as a mortgage broker with thousands of past clients, with hundreds of people that I'm talking to every single month, talking to real estate agents, talking to mortgage professionals, my honest advice and opinions on what things you should take into consideration on whether you should buy now or wait. Before I jump into it, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff that helps the YouTube algorithm. As a mortgage broker who's in the trenches every day, I try to provide transparent, easy to understand information to help you become more educated, make better decisions. So without further ado, should you buy now or wait? As we go into 2022, it's a super common question I get. And truth be told, people are scared with good reason. You know, they've sat on the sidelines, they've read articles, they see home prices up 15%, 18%. In some markets, it's in the 20s, right? They see headlines about mortgage interest rates are on the rise, all this stuff. And they're saying like, did I miss the boat? Should I have bought last year? Is it too late? Do I buy now? Do I wait? Is it gonna cool down? All these questions are super common questions, and I get it. They're good questions, right? So first and foremost, I wanna tell you, as a home buyer, I think that the things that you should consider, especially when you're considering buying a primary residence, if you can buy a home you love with a monthly payment that you can afford, then it's a good time to buy. Forget about timing the market. Forget about all the, on one side, people are going to talk about how real estate's going to go up forever. It's the best investment of all time. You can't lose. Go ahead and do it. That's the only thing to consider, is that real estate's the greatest invention since sliced bread and the greatest investment of all time. On the other side, all the naysayers, the market's going to crash because foreclosures, because of this, because of that. And literally 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, they predict a crash every single year. They'll predict it in 2022 again. Probably not going to happen. By probably, I mean 99.9%, it's not going to happen. The very worst case scenario by people who are talking about what real estate's going to do in 2022 is like down 3%, right? Most of them are predicting 5%, 6%, 8% home price appreciation. There's some people that are in the teens, right? And so home prices are probably not getting cheaper. So that leads into like, do I buy now or wait? Because a lot of people think, and they'll talk to somebody, a drunk uncle over the holidays that said, well, based on the, how this star is aligned with that star, come August of 2022, home prices are going to go down. Don't trust the drunk uncle, right? Home prices, more likely than not, are going to be higher next year. Mortgage rates, more likely than not, are going to be higher next year. And I'm not telling you this to sell you, but I want you to think about purely the math, right? As a mortgage broker, I think about the math. $425,000 price point. Might sound high for some parts of the country that are listening to this. For my folks in California, it probably sounds like a screaming deal, right? But maybe that's, in whatever market you're in, what it's going to take to be a first-time home buyer. $425,000 with 5% down. Let's put a graphic up, editing team. 425 with 5% down is a 403, 750 loan amount. Today's rates of 3.125, based on your credit score and other factors, right? This isn't an offer. This is just me. We're just going to use 3.125. NMLS number 1088993. Not an offer to lend, not an advertisement. 3.125. $1,730 a month is the principal and interest payment. We're not factoring in taxes and insurance. That's going to vary by county. It's going to vary by where you're at. But $1,730 a month. Now, let's talk about a year from now if home prices went up 10%. I use 10% because it's a round number. It might only be 5, it might be 7. Who was it that predicted like 15% next year? Somebody did, and it's, I mean, truth be told, it's possible. With inflation and how hungry people are to buy assets like real estate, I wouldn't be that surprised. I hope not, right? But let's use 10% appreciation, right? That same $425,000 house now costs $465,000. I'm sorry, $467,500. It's gone up 10% from the 425 number. You put down 5% on that home. Now we've got a principal and interest payment of $1,903. If, an important thing to talk about is if interest rates are the same, your payment goes up $173. News alert, news flash, interest rates will not be the same 1 year from now. Almost nobody predicts they'll be the same. 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, that's kind of where most people agree on rates are going to end up, mid to high 3s. Some even think it might even get to 4% in 2022. Let's be conservative. Let's call it 3.625. Home's gone up 10% to 467,500. You're putting 5% down. You've got a principal and interest payment at a 3.625 interest rate of $2,025. That's a $295 a month increase on that $1,730 payment. Today's $425 of 5% down. 10% increase in price, a 0.5% increase on the interest rate. Now, home prices might not go up. Maybe they'll flatten, right? Even if they are flat and we see that same $425,000 house for sale a year from now, and it's only $425,000, which I highly doubt, right? But maybe it happens. But rates are a 0.5% higher. That payment goes from $1,730 to $1,845, 3.125 to 3.625% interest rate, right? So $115 a month doesn't sound like a ton, but keep in mind, this is principal and interest. Your taxes will be slightly more expensive. Your insurance will be slightly more expensive. So, what's that? Is that like, I'm doing some quick math in my head here, like a 7 or 8% increase on your payment, right? Definitely something to consider when you're thinking about buy now or wait. Okay. One thing I want to touch on, which I talked about earlier in the video also, is like what months are best to buy, right? And I think different months are the better months in different markets, but if you want to talk about in general, there's some in general things like November through January, the start of winter, the end of fall, start of winter is generally when you can start to see less options, less stuff comes on the market, but at better prices, right? People are, selling because they've got to move out of state and whatnot. And this is a funny one, right? Because this is the in general, is that you're going to see better prices and less options. Right now with such low inventory, you've got less options, but you don't have better prices, right? Because there's a lot of demand. The demand is keeping prices high, even though you have less options, in spite of there being less options. So it's not like the winter is providing all these opportunities where you're getting smoking deals because we have low inventory. And this doesn't really have any signs of changing or getting better, right? And the other months, like April to May, is when a lot of people list. So there's more options, but also buyer demand is at an all-time high. The sun is shining, the flowers are blooming, people are trying to move their kids in between school years, and so those months are always super hot. Sure, there's more inventory, and sure, there's more stuff to choose from, so you might find the house you love, but you got to go against 10, 12, 15, 20 offers to get it, right? So that's when there's higher prices. I also was doing some research into, some of the August and September months as summer ends and people haven't sold. And so they're kind of, a little bit more, the sellers can be, and I say can be because the market's a wild one, right? Where this hasn't necessarily held true in these last couple of years. A little bit more motivated, right, to sell. they've kind of missed that spring and summer selling season, and they're like, okay, offloading this August or September, and you might be able to get a deal there. But again, when we have super low inventory and high demand, some of this stuff will be less prevalent, right? So take that for what it is. In closing, I just want to talk about being a homeowner is different than being a renter. So one thing you want to consider, if 2022 is the year for you, or if you watch this video in the future and this means 2023 or 2024, be mentally prepared. Not just that you're pre-approved and you're able to buy the house, but also that, with buying a home comes different responsibilities. When you're a renter, you've got, something that goes wrong in the house, the landlord is, should be fixing it, right? It's their responsibility. When you're a homeowner, the heating and air unit, the hot water heater, the roof, the repairs, it's all you, and it's your responsibility, right? If you're somebody who's traveling a lot, or you're moving jobs and you're going from one state to the next, you might not be in the same place for more than 6 months or a year. Renting probably suits you. If you're trying to have some stability, and you want the responsibility, and you're trying to plant some roots, want your kids to go to this certain school for the next 8, 10, 12 years, home ownership might be for you, right? Whatever you do, get yourself pre-approved, talk to a lender you like and trust, get all that stuff dialed in. Educating yourself empowers you to make good financial decisions. That's what my channel's all about. That's what my team's all about. That's what I want and hope for you. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. GreatMortgageBroker.com. Fill out the form. Let us know where you're at, how we can help. We'll be in touch soon. Again, GreatMortgageBroker.com. And until next time, we gonna see.